Just make sure it's going to both of them. Okay, it's going there, but I don't think it's going. Oh, yep, there we go. It's going to both of them. Good. You can go live, yeah. We're fine. Okie dokie. Well, let me do these and refresh these two. There I am there. I want to be able to see everybody's chat. And we'll refresh this one.
I'm not getting the...
You're not getting the resolution?
Well, I'm not getting the little thing at the bottom of the screen where it says I can change the...
You don't have to do that on Facebook.
Oh, that's just for YouTube?
Yeah, it's just for YouTube.
Facebook looked a little fuzzy for some reason. It does look a little fuzzy. It's like it's 720, not 1080.
Oh, it's HD. Oh, it is coming in at 720. That's because that's all they allow you to stream in. It's 720.
No.
So.
It's funny how YouTube sometimes just comes in at 420. What is it, 420?
Yeah, YouTube's kind of funny that way.
Stream health is at orange. It's not perfect right now.
So we got Bruce Richardson. Hello, sir. We got Paul Carreau and Victor Vasquez. Hello, hello.
With me back here, they won't be able to hear me at all. So.
I want to be able to see the chat, so. There we go. There we go. I just have to bring up the YouTube one now.
Mr. Daniel.
I just have to bring up the YouTube
3
one.
minutes to go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're just kind of getting things put together here, so just bear with us.
This is new, too.
Yeah, I put that on there. That way, you can actually change that to, if you right-click on it, double-click, right, double-click. You see where it says recording?
Mm-hmm.
Change that to streaming.
And it'll stream at a specific time?
No, it will give you how much time we've been streaming.
Oh.
And just click OK. So there we go. It's streaming.
Gives you a real-time streaming.
Hello, Franco Descala, Tim Barth. We got Wiley's 3D, Derek Matthews, Daniel Wright, Canadian Maker Project, Morgan Pierce, happy 7-Eleven Day. Enjoy a Slurpee. You know, that actually sounds like a really good idea. I might have to go and get a Slurpee today. I may have to go and get a Slurpee. I'm going to do a pop-out chat here. It's better for me. There we go. There we go. A poopo chat. That's what they call it, a poopo chat.
Poopy chat?
A poopy chat. Come on, chat. Now move with me.
Get her going. They call me Bruce.
They call you Bruce? Let's hope they don't call you Bruce for everything. All right. Now I can see everybody's.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Bruce.
Suddenly it...
What?
Well, I typed one thing and the whole thing just sort of lit up all of a sudden. It's funny how sometimes the comments won't come up here.
Yeah.
Like I just lose, like the comments just stop coming up entirely. And then I end up...
Hey, there's Catherine Sinut. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you with us today.
EOS this Anout serious chat.
What?
Canadian Maker Project. He's asking if it's another serious chat, but he wrote EOS this.
Well, it is kind of a serious chat just at the beginning. We're going to put this to rest real quick, and then we're going to move on to questions and answers about 3D printing.
1:30, you ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. Run that intro. Hey, welcome back to The First Layer. My name is Richard Cleveland. I'm your host here 3 times a week. Well, this week it's going to be 4 times a week because we had a double show on Monday I've got some things special for you on Friday. My name's Richard Cleveland, if I didn't say that. Yeah, it's one of those, we're going to have a little bit of a serious talk today. As most of you who frequent our Facebook page know, something was brought to my attention this week. I made a post about it. Since then, there's been a bit of backlash. So I just want to kind of clear up a couple of things. There's a great article up on our Facebook page right now. There's a link to it, all about IP and copyright in relation to 3D models. And I encourage everybody to go and read that. The reason that you guys need to read that is because, you know what, it's really going to clear up a lot of stuff for you guys. So let me quickly talk about what I got on my desk. You see I've got some prints on my desk, and I want to talk about copyright and IP for a second. Let me switch my top camera down. So you can see I've got two pictures of Batman here, both by different artists. This one is done by Mark Texeira, well-known comic book artist. This was hand-painted by him and then made into prints, and down at the bottom it says Batman, copyright DC Comics, for information, blah, 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 blah. You know how to get a hold of him. He also did this wonderful one of Vampirella, which is, as many of you know, is one of my favorite characters. And right down here in the corner, you can't see it very well, but that is a hand-drawn version of her that he did for me at the show where I got this. And this one is by a local artist here in Calgary by the name of Jackson Gee. Now, Jackson does not work for DC Comics, but he does make prints from the stuff that he creates. Is what he's doing illegal? No, because it is a medium in which you can sell your prints. He's the artist. Yes, he's using an intellectual property to make money, but this is his own interpretation of that character. Nowhere else will you see that character drawn like this by anybody else, okay? Same thing with Mark Texeira's art, same idea. You're not going to see it anywhere else. Now here in my hand, I have one of Malik's 3 Design Batgirl pieces. Now, where did he get the original mesh from? I don't know. There's been some talk about it over the last couple of days that, you know, if you take a mesh from a video game and you go and make it your own, should you take credit for it? If you've put in the time and transformed that original mesh, because if you are taking something from a video game, those meshes are not as good as you would think they would be, because they come out with a lot less triangles than what this is. And I don't want to get into the specifics of the amount of triangles it takes to do something this big, but what the artist does is if they find a game mesh that they can use, they may use it, they may transform the pose, they may alter the costume, the facial features, whatever. Do they own that piece of art? In my mind, yes, they do. They own that piece of art because they've made it their own. Much like this right here. Does Jackson own this art? Yes. Does he own the intellectual property on the person? No. Does Malik's own the art? Yes. Does Malik's own the intellectual property? No. Same thing with this Deadpool. This Deadpool may have been modeled out of thin air, but it is still a copywritten piece. The intellectual property belongs to Marvel Comics and Disney. The art belongs to the artist. So that's how I want to kind of clear this up. So over the weekend or over the last couple of days, people have pointed their fingers at me and have called me a cyber bully for outing an individual who is trading and selling other people's work and calling it his own. Well, at the end of the day, to me, that's wrong. And that's all I'm going to say on this. If you think I'm wrong, put it in the comments down below. Tell me what your feelings are. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. How do you feel about that kind of stuff? Do you think if you create something and somebody else calls it theirs, how would you feel? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's a little bit of food for thought. I'm going to have a look at some of the questions here. Absolutely 7-Eleven. It is Slurpee Day. Super 55 there, Frank. Frank's down here on the controls today. Wave your hand there, Frank. There he is. We've moved things around a little bit here in today. This is fan art. This is fan art. Let's leave it at that, okay? Many of the meshes are actually textured and not bump maps, okay? And game models are hollow textured surfaces. They are not printable in the current form by any means. And I agree with that. That's a point Brian Baker is trying to make. Richard is more of a ethical whistleblower. Yeah, I think I'm kind of an ethical whistleblower. I just don't want to see people lose out on their work and have somebody steal what they've put time and effort into what they do. So let's get right down into 3D printing, okay? Let's talk about 3D printing. This week, I had a disaster. So I have to apologize to any of you that are watching the show now or in the Restream later. I apologize to all my patrons because right now, I've had to build a third dark side. It hit the floor over the weekend when I was moving some stuff around in my office at home, and I sheared both the legs off. I wanted to have more videos up this week working on dark side and teaching you guys how to paint. But yeah, I had a bit of an issue. Now, Wonder Woman went up on our regular channel on Monday. That is something which will continue on YouTube for everybody. The reason I'm using Wonder Woman for that is because it had a bunch of damage and now I'm just trying to get it back to where it was. Kathleen says, I think what you're saying is accurate and fair. Thank you very much, Kathleen. I appreciate that. Michael Spluak, I know I messed that up. I agree you should not make money from someone else's work without giving them credit. Exactly. So if people don't want me in their group because of that, because you know, somebody brought it to my attention and I brought it to the attention of several communities, what I don't want you guys to do, please stop sending me all the guys that are out there that are doing it, because I would spend my entire day out there trying to track down more information on these people, and they're slippery characters that are in and out of different groups. So I appreciate that you guys are bringing it to me, but I can't do them all. So let's get back to talking about 3D printing. Let's talk about this cube for a second. I've got a lot of requests for how I do things with my 3D printers and how I get such nice prints. The bottom line about 3D printing is slow your machine down and set your jerk settings correctly, because if you don't, you end up having issues where you're going to have ghosting, you're going to have stringing, you're going to have over and under extrusion. More likely, if you're going too fast, you're going to have under extrusion because the plastic just cannot grab the underside or the layer previous to it if you're going too fast. So slow your machines down. My comfortable speed is 40 millimeters per second, and you can set that up in any slicer. And if you guys want to see more tutorials on slicers, then I definitely will do a couple of more tutorials on slicers. There's Distinctive Impressions. Hello, Distinctive Impressions. Brian, I may have hit 270 millimeters per second the only night on my CR10. Wow.
Ridiculous.
270 millimeters per second? That's pretty darn fast. Wow. With a volcano nozzle, I'm running solid at about 150 millimeters. With a Volcano, you can go faster. Hey, there's my lovely niece, Paige Ashley Lawton, who is on Facebook. Happy birthday to you, my dear, and I hope you had a great birthday yesterday, and we're looking forward to coming to your wedding. So we're going to be up for that. What else we got going on? So when you're printing, when I print a figure like this guy right here, this little Deadpool, I'll go to the upper camera here. This Deadpool that I printed, this was printed at 0.06 millimeters at 25 millimeters per second on the Wanhao Duplicator i3, this one right here. Came out beautifully. It took a little longer to print it, but you know what? I don't care. I think that if it's going to take a little bit more time to get a good print, then that's what you should do. Let's see, what does Morgan Pierce say? What jerk settings do I recommend? The lower the number, to me, the better. I have my jerk settings on all of my printers set to around 5 millimeters. Yeah, I have mine set to 5 millimeters. Brian says he has his set to 10 on the X and the Y. I have all of mine set to 5.
Is that CR10?
That's all of my printers.
Okay.
All my printers are set to 5, yeah. They give me the best and the cleanest print that way. Dario, hello sir. Dario Carrasco, another of my good artist friends, and we talked a little bit about fan art and that sort of thing. So Dario does some wonderful pieces. Morgan, CR10, what are mine on the CR10? Mine are actually still stock, and the CR10 is set to 5, Morgan, just so you know. If you're using the latest version of Cura, which is now 3.4.1, which just came out. There we go, somebody's covering up my chat here. There we go. Christy Brady joined. Hello, Christy. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, Cura 3.4.1 was just released yesterday. I have downloaded it. Even in 3.4.0, there was a lot of places where you could get into trouble. The accelerations and the jerk settings set in Cura are way too high. Bring those down or disable them altogether. If you guys want to see me do an episode on 3.4.1 where I walk you through all that stuff and how to turn it on, turn it off, give me a thumbs up or a hell yeah, or buy me a coffee or anything. Hey, there's Jim McGregor. How are you today, Jim? So as soon as we see some thumbs up, we'll get to work on something like that, and you guys will, oh, look at, there's Frank. Frank's just keeps doing it.
You can see me now. Trying to get the community to start doing that more. So
yeah. Well, there. Oh, look, we got a Jim McGregor going there.
Go, Jim, go.
So yeah, if I'm willing to Canadian Maker Project, hell yeah.
Brian Baker says turn them off, the jerk settings. The printer will use the firmware defaults?
Yes, the firmware defaults can be set too high as well. I know on the Wanhao Duplicator i3 that they are quite high. Distinctive impressions. Where do you set the jerk settings on the CR10S? And what exactly is a jerk setting? Cheryl, you don't have to worry about the jerk settings on the CR10 because they're already set to 5, so they're set really low. So, but I will go through that. Brian Baker, jerk and acceleration would be a good episode. Okay, we're going to do an episode on jerk and acceleration. Coming up this Friday, you guys, I want you guys to get your questions, so I'm going to do a little filler here. Coming up this Friday, and there I go, playing with stuff again in my hands. I hate it. We have sort of a different episode. It's not going to be anything about 3D printing, just so you know. So Friday's episode is you are going to see a cut together version of all of the crew, well, with the exception of Jess, up doing some karaoke singing. You're going to see Brian Baker. You're going to see Frank. You're going to see myself.
Did you make a video with all that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So you got lots of good songs. You got some Sweet in there. We've got Neil Diamond. We've got some of the Eagles in there. What else do we got in there?
Did you get Hello Mata Hello Fada in there?
No, I didn't. No, so there's no Hello Mata Hello Fada.
Aw.
Sorry.
My favorite one.
But if you guys have not ever heard Frank sing, you're going to be able to, you got a treat coming your way on Friday. So Emilio Vitt, hello sir. Ryan Manson and Shannon Ladine have joined. Hello. Danica Fletcher, hello. German Printing Nerd, there he is. Mark Baker. Need to make a fight spinner.
You need a fidget spinner for yourself, so you stop.
Yes, yes. That's why you'll always see my fingers together, because if I'm not fidgeting, I'm a fidgety person. My legs go, my hands go, my butt goes. I'm a pretty fidgety person. That's why I kind of keep my hands like this, and I try not to grab stuff on my desk, so I move it out of my way. German Printing Nerd, hey Richard, can you send me a PLA profile for the Wanhao i3? Yeah, sure I can. Yeah. For S3D, yeah, absolutely I can. Mine is just the standard one that I use. I have made some changes in firmware, or not in firmware, but in my profiles. And really just the reason I've done that is because I like to get a better first layer. The changes I made is really what that is for. Hey, there's Brad Wilcox, really old friend of mine. Brad and I went to school together. Will Reeb has joined, another very good friend of mine. Will Reeb is an exceptional model maker and Batman costumer, 66 Batman costumer, I should add. What do we got over here? So just so you guys know, when I'm not looking directly into camera, I've got my confidence monitor on this side, and now I have all the chats up on this monitor. So we got two big monitors up on the wall right now. So I'm kind of going back and forth. That's my little dance for the day. I'll be looking into sending the coins. Oh, that's Canadian Maker Project. Yeah, yeah. Canadian Maker Project picked up some Maker coins while he was at IRF, or the Eastern Rep Rap Festival, and he's going to send them along to us so that we can show you guys, and then we'll send them back to him. Brian Baker, he's got, oh, he sent a photo. I don't know what that's about.
He's always sending something.
He's always sending something. Well, we can't put it up. We'll have to look at that one a little bit later. Other than that, you guys, so give me your questions. What questions do you guys have about, I guess I can look at it here. I will look at it right here. Dun, 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 dun. As soon as it comes up. I have my iPad here now. Of course, it's going to take forever to come up. iPads are wonderful, aren't they?
We almost discussed jerk and acceleration settings today.
We could discuss a little bit about jerk settings.
Like what does it do? How does it affect the machine, and how does it affect the print? What is the difference between jerk and acceleration?
What's the difference between jerk and acceleration? Frank's asking a very good question there. The difference between jerk and acceleration is jerk is the length of time that it takes for the head to stop. So the longer it takes to stop, the more ringing and I've got nothing really to show you about ghosting. Maybe I can go to my overhead here. So there's nothing, there you can see this is the top layer. Let's go to the Y here on the side. You can see that there's no ghosting, and where you get ghosting is down this side, usually.
Between the walls.
Yeah, between the letter and the walls is where you get it. And you might get some on the edge where it's causing a ghosting or a ringing through. So that has to do with jerk and acceleration. Acceleration is the speed in which your head moves across the bed and how fast the bed moves. So if your bed is moving back and forth and your head is going across this way, now if it's going too fast, what can happen is you can get under extrusion because it's going too fast. If you're using a regular 0.4 millimeter nozzle, it will give you under extrusion. And how that shows up in the print is that you will see layers that look like they have holes in them. So acceleration, if you're going too fast, doesn't allow the plastic to stick to the previous layer, okay? And the jerk is just how fast does it stop. So I set mine lower to, like I said, 5 millimeters. The CR10 already comes at 5 millimeters, and it is a great little stopping point, I think. Jim McGregor, what are the walls as per Cura? Maybe dumb question. Maybe dumb question. It's actually not a dumb question. The walls on Cura, let's just go back here.
Was it different on Cura than?
No, I think they're called walls or perimeters.
Oh, perimeters, yeah.
Yeah, now perimeters or walls, depending on which software you're using, will be a multiple or a multiplier of the width of your nozzle. So if you're using a 0.4 nozzle, we'll do some quick math here. If you've got 2 perimeters, that equals 0.8 for your wall. So it's going to basically do 2 rounds to make a 0.8 wall. If you've got 3 walls or 3 perimeters, now you're at a multiple of 3 times 0.4, which now gives you 1.2. So now you've got just a little over a millimeter thickness, so you're going to create 3 walls before you start doing your infill. Does that make sense? I hope so. Too low of an acceleration can cause some weird issues too. Yes, too low of acceleration can, such as blobbing at the beginning of a line. Yes, that is very true, Brian Baker. You don't want to go too slow. Like if you're going down at like 10 millimeters per second, that's way too slow.
Can you fix that with retraction?
No, because you still got you're always going to have a little bit of plastic always in the nozzle.
Yeah.
So it's always going to try and blob out. So with that said, I think that's pretty much all we got today for questions. Maybe? Nope, Brian Baker. What would cause an extruder not to extrude even if it's not clogged? Formbot T-Rex 700 main left extruder, Mark Baker's asking. Could be something in the code, in the G code. Make sure that your slicer that you're using is set for 2 extruders, and that when you are slicing your model, you're telling it which to use. David Sell, hi from Minnesota. Hello, David Sell.
Question from Ryan Manson on Facebook.
Using Simplify 3D or S3D, how can I get rid of the join lines on the shell as I get a line all the way up to my print?
Oh, that's start and stop.
That's the start and stop. You're never going to be able to get rid of that. If you do it randomly, it's going to be like little kind of mini lines all over your prints. I tend to, on prints like this, I tend to put them in one spot. So that way I can come back and just clean one spot. It's like cleaning a mold line off of a model kit. So there we go. I think we got everybody's questions today. So on Friday, it's going to be a special karaoke episode, and hope you guys enjoy it. I need a couple of days to get things back going for Patreon. I love you guys. You guys are great. I love the fact that you come here and sit with me every Wednesday, every Monday, and every Friday. Again, I want to thank spool3d.ca for everything that they do for the show. They give us this wonderful space. They help us out with supplies from time to time when it comes to filaments. And I want you guys to remember, print it right, print it with spool3d.ca. Everything that you need, from printers to filaments to the bottom line and all the accessories you could ask for. Print it right, print it with spool3d.ca. Check them out today online. If you're in Canada, you get a $140 order. Your shipping is free anywhere in Canada. I want to also thank all of my Patreons for your patience while I work through the issues I'm having getting my videos up for you guys on Patreon and a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your support. I could never imagine that people actually wanted to pay me to paint and help them with their painting. I am going to be talking about in an upcoming episode here on The First Layer, I'm going to be talking about the people that inspired me when I got into painting, and I hope that you'll go check some of these guys out yourselves. Hello to Devin Rich, hello to Tyrone Sass, another very good and old friend of mine, Tyrone Sass, just retired, actually. I can't retire, Tyrone, I don't make enough money.
Kevin from next door just joined us on YouTube.
Hey, Kevin, how are you, buddy?
How are you, buddy?
Hey, team. Kevin is our printer. He does stuff like this for us. He does all of our business cards and our stickers and stuff like that. So if you're looking for printing, go to creativefactor.ca. I believe it's creativefactor.ca. It might be .com. I could be wrong.
No, it's .ca.
It's .ca. Okay. Yes. Again, if you're interested in becoming a Patreon and you're patient with me, you can go over to patreon.com/thefirstlayer. Excuse me. And there you can sign up for any one of the levels that we have going on there.
You just said buy me a coffee.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, listen, if you want to buy me a coffee or buy Frank a coffee, you can do that too by going to buymeacoffee.com/thefirstlayer. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, little accidents happen. This is the fun of live shows. Rich will always be our main guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So with that said, guys, until I see you on
Friday?
Well,
No.
they'll see me, but I won't see them.
Monday?
They'll see me again, but I won't see them. Till I see you again on Wednesday for the live stream at 1:30 in the afternoon. Have yourselves a great weekend, rest of the week. If you're here in Calgary or surrounding area, I hope you're enjoying Stampede. And I'm not going to Stampede because it drives me crazy. I hate crowds. And I'm just going to stay home and paint. So until I see you next time, guys, remember the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. Have a great day.